An online group of thugs calling themselves 764 has been blackmailing children and teenagers into committing acts of self-harm and then forcing them to post videos online. I don't think I've seen a story this evil. I mean, when I think of incarnate evil, these sites that we're going to be talking about, they're just a safe place. They're a safe place for psychos. These are the future of American serial killers and mass murderers. When you hear the story of what these people did, let's lay it out.
Well, this story involves a young girl who was 14 at the time in Oklahoma. And she was on Discord, which is a social media site, video site. So she meets this guy. And the guy is very nice and friendly to her. They met in a little chat room. And after they had developed a bit of a relationship where this guy started treating her, as he says, like his girlfriend, he got her to send him some pictures of herself. We don't have much indication of what they were, but based on what followed, it seems they were probably photos she didn't want getting out to the public. So once she sent the photos, the guy then came at her, and he's the founder of 764. He said, all right, listen, I want you to carve 764 into your thigh. Carve those letters. I want you to film it. I want the blood, and we're going to post it online. Well, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, if you don't do that, these photos that you sent me, I'm going to send it to your school principal. I'm going to send it to your parents, to every member of your family. I'm going to send it out to your entire school.
You're going to be humiliated, and you're going to have to commit suicide.
Right.
Which is ultimately what they were trying to get her to do.
They asked her to do it.
They asked her to commit suicide. That's after they asked her to strangle a cat, which she did, to cut off the head of her hamster, which she did. And what they're doing is filming all this, and they have these little clubs of psychopath killers. That's what they are. It's just, they call themselves gamers. Did you see? I mean, they like to think of themselves as gamers because a lot of this goes on the gaming sites, which is ridiculous. I mean, they're not gamers, they're psychopaths. And the point is this is this club of people, of kids that are between 15 and, say, 30 years old. And the idea is to see how bad, what horrendous thing we can make a child do that we can videotape. In a perfect world, they were successful in getting kids to commit suicide. They filmed the suicide and they laughed about it among themselves. What proud parents these people have to have, right? What proud parents. I mean, how does a parent raise a child to this point? 764 is the name of, what's the kid's name that started this?
Cadenhead.
Cadenhead. I want to see a picture of him up on the screen when we show this, but his name is Cadenhead. He's in prison now, for 30 years? 80 years. And they're fighting desperately to get him out. But he created a whole bunch of followers.
Yeah.
And they're so proud to be part of this 764. What it is, it's the zip code. It's the first or last letters, last numbers in a zip code where he grew up, where his little home was in Texas. It spread California, big spread in California, big urban areas. It spread like crazy. And the point is this: it wasn't just Discord, right?
Right. Telegram was also involved in it. He was posting on there as well. And, these social media sites, they said, oh, well, when we found this out, we would ban his IP address, but then he'd just get another IP address and start again. And we were trying and we just couldn't keep up with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Bullshit, okay? There's something in the law called strict liability, okay? And here's what it means. If you have, let's say you have a nuclear plant, and the nuclear plant is leaking radiation, and it's killing people around it. Well, inherent in that plant is the fact that you got radiation there. And if you can't control the radiation, you have no defense, okay? It's that dangerous. It's become so dangerous that you can't do anything about it. This is the same thing, okay? These sites understand they'll never control these little thuggish psychopath, they're young murderers, that's all they are. And so in 20 years, these are the people that you're going to see on the cover of the magazine and newspaper that have created, engaged in mass shootings. They're psychopaths, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's what really scares the hell out of me. There's a lot of them.
It really does, but it also scares me just the fact that they are able to so quickly gain the trust of these naive young people. It says they go after kids with, a history of, mental illness or depression, but they can do this to any kid, because when we look at young kids today, and I know because I've got children in this age range, my kids will come to me all the time like, hey, I just saw that online, somebody said this. Wow, that's crazy. I have to say, well, that's not even close to being true at all. But there's no more critical thinking. And I try my best, and I know other parents do too, but we are, two parents fighting against children that have access to more misinformation than at any other point in human history. So it is so easy to dupe these kids to gain their trust. And hey, look, I do funny videos. And then, hey, what if instead of being funny, what if somebody got hurt? Hey, what if instead of just getting hurt, what if you cut your finger off and you filmed it?
That's what I'm saying, Farron. There are some things that you create, you create the setting. And you've created a setting that's so dangerous that you can't control it, okay?
Right.
Nuclear waste that's leaking out of a nuclear plant, killing people by the thousands, okay? We know that nuclear plant is in and of itself it's a dangerous facility. There's all kinds of analysis that you can go through where it comes to analyzing strict liability. There's some things that you choose to do, and you know that it's going to result in this kind of thing. So here we got Telegram, Discord, Roblox. That also came up in the Washington Post story.
And that is very popular among the young people. It's a lot like Minecraft, but it's this online world that you create, and you can interact with other users. And most of it seems, fun, innocuous, harmless. But if you get somebody on there with malicious intent, it is very easy for them to, meet up with a kid that's 7 years old, because there are a lot of, obviously they're not toddlers, but they were just recently toddlers on Roblox. It is exceptionally popular with elementary school children. And it is so easy to manipulate these people. The way I explained it with Caden Head here, hey, let's be friends. Hey, I kind of think of you as my girlfriend. Send me pictures. Now I gotcha. You're trapped.
So the goal is to have as many videos of corpses as they can send around. As many videos of child pornography where children are being abused and tortured. That's a real home run for them. This girl, they had, as you pointed out, they had her carve 7.64 into her thigh. They had her drinking from a toilet bowl, and they said, if you don't do these things, we're going to make your life hard. We're going to kill your brother. That's what they told him at one point. The pet hamster, we want you to cut his head off. We want you to strangle cats. These are kids sitting around on a computer saying, wow, we're really having fun now, right? What the hell? How is it that we give them any source of information? Now, I will tell you this. The thing I love about this is if the FBI would do their job, which they haven't done, matter of fact, they wouldn't even talk to the mother of this 14-year-old about how bad the situation, wouldn't even talk to her. And so what ended up happening is we don't, if you think about it, we could trace who they are. There's ways to do that. We could have a list of names that we could put up on this screen and say, these psychopaths have been identified. What is there, 8 groups of them, 8 or 9 groups of them? Yeah. Here's the psychopaths in the US, here's the psychopaths in Germany, here they are in Belgium, wherever. They're all over the world. But this movement was started by this psychopath kid.
16-year-old kid from his mother's basement. Literally, that's what the report says. And it's these people who hate their lives, they're unhappy with themselves, and they try to bring everybody down to their level. And unfortunately, they have been insanely successful with it. And it's terrifying for these kids. It's terrifying for parents. And this report from the Washington Post, I will give them full credit. This used to be what newspapers were about.
I know this. Let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of the Washington Post because I think, but when Washington Post does a real investigative story like this is good stuff. You can tell they work very, very hard to put all this together, and I think it's just the beginning of it. I think Discord and these other sites, look, we're trying to get rid of TikTok. Okay, right. This isn't taking place on TikTok. This is taking place on these other sites, and we're saying, "Oh yeah, we're not talking about making them go away. We're not talking about banning them, but we're talking about not banning these psychopaths."
Well, and this report right here, this should be mandatory reading for every
Oh.
elementary, middle, and high school child.
Yeah, what's the
in this
title on
country.
it? What is the title on it? It's in the Washington Post, and like I say, again, you know, we have to give credit where credit's
Yeah.
due.
On popular online platforms, predatory groups coerce children into self-harm.
Yeah, you almost will. It's hard to even finish the article, isn't
Yeah.
it? I found it
It
hard to
really
even
was.
finish the article.
It's something that I'm not going to forget for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's almost like I was reading Incarnate Evil.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's absolutely incarnate evil.